Vanishing point will let you take images and put them on different planes. They're ideal for wall signage. You can put your own name engraved into a statue. And I want to change these words from speed limit 45 to speed limit sexy. It just makes me think of that because of this lip print that was on this speed limit sign on the Golden Gate Bridge. So what I'm going to do is start by making a pattern of the white to get rid of the 45. I use my rectangular selection tool, and I will choose Edit, Define Pattern, and call it White Sign, might just be white, and I will deselect, and then use my lasso tool to select the number 45. A lot of people might have gone for just content-aware fill, and I'll show you that in this case. Edit Fill, Content Aware, but it randomly grabbed other letters from the sign, so I'll undo that. So Edit Fill with Pattern and the pattern I just built. White sign. Perfect. Command D or Control D will deselect. Now, I've got the word sexy already typeset for you, but we need to make it look like it belongs on the sign. So I will grab this pattern that I cloned from the letters in the sign. And I will go to my Layers panel and FX and Pattern Overlay. And I did a pattern earlier, but I wasn't really happy with it. So I'm going to hit Cancel, and I'll select this. Select All, Command A or Control A. I had to resort to cloning because one small pattern just wasn't doing what I wanted. So I could do more work on this, but you'll get the idea. So Edit, Define Pattern, and I'll call it Gray Text Fill. I'll come back to my sexy text and go to FX, Pattern Overlay, choose the last one in the list. That's always the pattern you built, and I could do some more work to clean it up, but for today we'll let it go. Now to make this have the edge that the sign had, I'll do a stroke around the outside of the text, and maybe 2 pixels, and 60% opacity? Yes, so 60 or 70% opaque may make it look more natural. Now I want to warn you, in order to put this text in the sign, I need to flatten everything. So I do recommend you do a Save As and keep the text by itself, and then another Save As for the flattened version. So if I want to go back and edit the font or edit the pattern or the stroke, I have the end one with layers, and the flat one, I will choose Layer, Flatten Image. Now, select All. And I may need to do a little bit more so that this isn't pure white, but this should work for now. So select All I just did. I zoomed out with Command minus or Control minus. I'll copy it, and here comes the vanishing point. A lot of buildup. But imagine doing this on signage, on box covers or product covers. A lot of people use vanishing point for mock-ups of physical products. So I will choose Filter, Vanishing Point. And it gives an odd preview on this, but I'm zooming in with Command plus or Control plus, zoom out with Command minus or Control minus, and I need to create an area picking up the perspective for the sexy to go into. You're automatically on the Grid or Create Plane tool, and I will click and try to follow the natural perspective in the sign using objects and angles in the image itself to line it up to. If you got blue, you did very well. If it turns yellow, it's okay, but not really realistic. And if it turns red, it's bad. So shoot for the blue. And I often pull this to real objects in the image. Come on, select. There we go. All right. And maybe get it above the lipstick and make sure my angles are consistent with what I have in the document. I think that'll do it. Let it go. And edit, paste. Unfortunately, I can't see paste, but I know on the Mac it's Command V. On Windows, it's Control V. And there's my sexy. I zoomed out with Command minus or Control minus to see it. And as my cursor crosses over, now I've got sexy in the vanishing point. I may need to scoot it over a bit and finish it off with a free transform or the transform tool. And often you have to see the edge to do the transform, so I'll hold down Shift, grab the corners, getting closer, Shift, grab the corners. We need our sexy to fit. There we go. And it could be possibly a little bit bigger, so Shift is just keeping it proportional. I could adjust my vanishing point plane, but I think you'll get the idea. I could do more with my font to make it taller or wider before I brought it in, but play on your own. And when I click OK, there's our speed limit of sexy. Now I should warn you, if I undo that, it is far safer to make a new layer before you paste. So I did it the wrong way to show you that once you commit to that, it's permanent. And vanishing point is one of those filters that can't be run as a smart filter. So make sure you always add a layer before you do this. And since I'm adding a layer, I think I'll come back to my sexy text, undo the flatten image, and do a free transform, Command T or Control T, to make it a little taller and thinner. Press Return or Enter, Layer, Flatten Image. It still won't be perfect, but it'll be closer. I'll just use my Marquee tool to copy. That way I don't get all this extra white on the outside. Edit, Copy. Come back to my speed limit. I've got a safe layer. Now, Filter, Vanishing Point. I'll create my plane, and I'm going to do it a lot more quickly this time. I'll paste, Command V or Control V. I'll drag sexy into the sign. A little more scaling needed. Free transform, Shift, and I'll zoom in so I can better position it. And actually, I could have just scaled here too. I think I'm happier with that end result. I always use my arrow keys to nudge. It won't be perfect, but it'll be good enough for today. So I'll click OK. And the reason I wanted this on another layer is so I could also lighten the opacity a bit to give it that more washed out look. And that looks far more realistic. So good luck with Vanishing Point. It is immensely helpful for really fun Facebook or Twitter posts, but also helpful for product mock-ups or etching your name into a statue, because everyone should have a statue in monument to them. So thank you, and I hope you enjoy Vanishing Point.